What do we do?
Is there a class of people with more vaulting self-importance or more stunted self-awareness than America's journalists? Democracy dies in darkness, they tell us, the implication being that it's only they that keep the light of freedom glowing in the gathering dusk of an authoritarian age.
The mission of journalists, now and forever, is to inform the public, to shine a light, to hold the powerful to account, to be an independent voice people can trust.
It's true that in the absence of independent, trusted sources of information, power accrues without accountability. But there's no hint in this declaration of the role that journalists themselves have played in undermining the public trust.
Are we all ready to say that together? Democracy dies in darkness. Democracy dies in darkness.
With the latest round of cuts at the Washington Post, good people, including many that I know and admire, have been plunged into hardship, at least for a while. That's regrettable. But I want to take issue with the idea, first, that heartless ownership or cruel management have been primarily responsible for the plight that these news organizations find themselves in.
Billionaires only get rich by stealing from us.
And second, the suggestion from self-serving media grandees that it's malevolent political and business forces that have undermined the condition of much of American journalism.
Facts are challenged, truth is distorted, and the press is treated by those in power as an enemy, fake news they call it, rather than treat the press as a vital partner.
In fact, what's happened to the Post is just what's happened to most traditional news organizations over the last 20 years. Business models being upended by the shift from print to digital and the proliferation of alternative sources of news.
Besides the financial pressures, I worry too about how much of the public has lost faith in us. Only about a fourth of Americans report even having a fair amount of trust in the news media.
Many journalists blame social media disinformation, right-wing propagandists, and of course, Donald Trump for their abandonment. But it's primarily the role that journalists themselves have played that has led to the collapse of the trust in which they're held.
CNN and MSDNC are a disgrace. And so are the others. I mean, they're pretty much all in disgrace.
Yes, President Trump's attacks on the media are indefensible. But it's because of journalistic distortions over the past decade, ranging from COVID and Black Lives Matter to the years-long falsehood that was the Russia collusion hoax, that have devastated their credibility.
Pulitzer Prizes were awarded for fake reporting on a fake investigation into fake activities. This is, I think, truly worse than Watergate.
But the most important form of bias, insidious because it is necessarily hard to measure, is not what news organizations report, but what they choose not to report. Take, for example, immigration. Like most people, I'm appalled by some of the scenes I've witnessed on America's streets in the past year. And news organizations have been right to expose the excesses of immigration and customs enforcement. But how many news organizations have reported over the last 10 years or so on how mass immigration has affected American communities?
We are in a crisis situation. New York City now has more than 61,000 people in our shelter system.
Much coverage was given to the valuable contribution these migrants made to the US economy. But how much reporting even considered the cost?
In California, we've already identified about $1.3 billion of federal dollars spent to take care of illegal immigrants.
Then there's the thousands of illegal immigrants in prison or jail for crimes unrelated to their immigration status.
These are just some of the more recent ones that we have, and I can show you some of the people.
How many newspapers did lengthy reports on those crimes or on their victims?
I say, why don't you talk about that more? Because people don't know. Do you want to live with these people?
Shame! Shame!
Before things blew up in Minneapolis and elsewhere, Mr. Trump polled unusually well among blacks and Hispanic voters for a Republican. Surprising, given his treatment from some in the press.
You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys.
This was the opening question from someone at a meeting of the National Association of Black Journalists when Donald Trump was campaigning there in 2024.
So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you?
No. Despite the hysteria, our media marketplace isn't dead or even dying. It is just changed in ways that make it more attuned to its audience, but less effective as a vehicle for accountability. Just when America most needs a trusted press to expose the excesses of a rampant executive, its practitioners have squandered the public's faith.